didn't expect to see this early. First and second place, respectively. Shark and Teeny going against Storm and Demas. They're taking the fight towards the north side of the map. See damage, shield being taken off, HP. The longer you stay in the zone, the more likely you are to just get one shot knocked. And I think they realize that. Teeny making sure to grab the splash with 12 overall. They just need to get in the same box, and health won't necessarily be a worry. Meanwhile, Shark is still putting down pressure. He's trying not to let Darman Demas do the same thing. He doesn't want to get them healthy enough to fight back, and I think Teeny knows it as well. That's why he's putting pressure on both of those walls, trying to break in, and finally getting that elimination on the Darm.
It's exactly what they've been trying to stall out for, but we'll even get a chance to review here, see how exactly Darm was even in that position to begin with, and Demas just fully caught off guard. Teeny lurking around the front. He is notorious for these types of plays. He frequently finds those opportunities amongst other teams' loot pads to cut them off and find them when they're in a moment of slippage.
And last time we saw these boys here, though, Peterbot and Koyo, it was in a bit of a pickle. Peterbot stuck by himself, further out from where he is now. Koyo was down.
Ay, Piobo consomme awi asang.
There's a lot of time for them to get the loot and the loadout that they need for the rest of the game.
Time. It's not something Akira and Kurama have much of right now. Benno seemingly realizing that and looking to pull away, not give these guys what they want, and that is a fight. Benno and Curve need to make good of this game. We saw just how quickly things can turn for you when you are potentially fighting people off spawn. You have to make every second count.
And Benno's always been one known for liking to play through the storm into later zones. The only thing that might threaten them here in this matchup, if they don't run into QNDX and Phantom, is storm sickness itself. Can make things a little bit more complicated, but scenic views elsewhere. Chat, Flixie, very content right now, postured on a hill over by Builder's Barracks, and they'll be the cutoff point for so many of those teams trying to make an entrance through the west.
Yeah, for Flixie and Chad, honestly, their journey to get here. They were going towards the new Sanctuary uncontested throughout the course of the tournament. They wanted Marrow started to contest them. And not only that, kind of beat them off the spawn, forced them out of the POI. But Chap and Flixie, they went ahead and made the proper adjustments in order to qualify here for Sunday.
Yeah, they started off the game super aggressively after winning their off-spawn fight. They ran straight over towards Barracks and Kuduro, and they took Barracks down. We'll see if that aggression continues throughout the day.
It's a tough spot right now, though, for reason to know, Ryan. It is never a great sight when you're having to depend on these forms of mobility, but still, even entering a little bit after the fact, the main thing is just going to be trying to avoid Gina's line of sight, and that's already been scouted out. Reason trying to hug this cliff face as closely as possible, but no O'Reilly. He'll be here trying to stop some faces. First up, gets an opening shot, but it's just not enough. There's still 3 below on Surge.
At least it's a start, but that one is going to set them back just a little bit. Hobby going ahead and firing back, letting them know you will not pass, or at least not safely. They're trying to continue to move in, but it's getting rougher and rougher. Sand strip, this part of the zone is so stacked that it's going to be hard, even if you get the eliminations to stay alive, but they're being persistent. They know they don't have the heals, so Storm Surge activates, but Noah Wiley goes down. 2v1 situation, and Reason going back to the lobby.
Tried to do his best to hold things out, but it was a grim situation to begin with. Still, Ju looking to turn the tides here.
Yes.
And now, Fadil and Ju have a little bit of an opening here. It'll likely be intended
Yes.
to white lining straight from Fortfields inwards, but more importantly still, as the partial zones begin to develop, Ju and Fadil, they are stacked right now with the loadout.
Yeah, they're in a great position to enter the zone. Much resistance. Ju has been on fire so far this weekend, and that streak will continue. Gets one, gets the other, and he's feeling it right now. Fadil was bigging him up, and rightfully so.
Sometimes you just gotta believe in yourself, believe in your duo. Chino, Pablo taking that rotation away from Sandy Strip, but leaves them overly exposed. Even though they're almost 300 above the damage threshold, they now become Bobby sprayed, focused out. Chino taking a little bit more damage, but they're able to breathe here in this moment. Still 256.
but look at what's surrounding them. Swizzy, Pixie, Victor V, Kanata, Malabuka, and Vico. There is nowhere safe currently. Every single edit that's made, you have to be quick with your shots because the damage application that you might receive in return, it could just be your demise.
Yeah, they had to invest 6 metal boxes just to make sure he didn't get lobby sprayed there. So a tough position to be in, but one that they will survive. Mumsy won't be surviving this though. Too much to deal with here in game number 2.
Damage threshold. This could be so daunting. You really have no answer.
Didn't even know
Not
them.
necessarily a strange position to see him in, especially where the zone has been going, but they need to be careful. Right next door, Peterbot and Poyo, and they are below the damage threshold. That means anybody can
Something happened to me, but I don't even know what happened.
Still not enough damage to where one tag wouldn't make the difference, though. That's the best part. Question is, how aggressive do they want to take it? How confident are they feeling in their fighting right now to overcome?
I mean, we know these two can turn it to 100 at needs be. And so if things really do start to get dire, I would not expect them to get too passive. Only 5 shots in the shotgun barrel for Poyo. But he only needs 1, we know that, boy.
And right now, it just kind of looks strategy. They're close to the zone. They're trying to out-heal it. They're hoping, praying. More teams have to rotate on by. And there goes that first find. And Minish, he's going to go down. Even if they don't get elimination, they got at least 1 tag, but they're still below 13-2. It's not looking good so far, but they're so patient. They realize they cannot get desperate in a situation like this because all it takes is 1 moment of weakness to cost you everything.
It's just the repercussions of that first engagement. They tried to exchange big blows, but they ended up losing a good chunk of their surge along the way. And when you find yourself net even, it makes every single moment matter even more so because you're just constantly teeter-tottering between the two, above and below.
Yeah, look, they're opting to try and out-heal just to keep themselves in the game longer. To maybe extend that window of opportunity for a reason. Activating right now.
Gonna try and give one new follow. Some of the 1-9.
Desperation is kicked in, Jacob. They want to get in and fast.
Yeah, they realize we can't continue to out-heal this. We'll have nothing left over. Storm Surge hits. Peter Rock goes down. Poyo trying to stay alive. He strikes both down. Still below the damage threshold, though. Active Surge. He finds himself alone, cleaning up that elimination. Miracles do exist.
We told you he only needs 1.
And they found it, and now he's got plenty more to work with, but as a solo, it's going to be all the more complicated. Still, you know Acorn can't possibly be happy about that. It looked like they were going to get out scot-free. Instead, it cost them so much along the way.
Back-to-back games right now where Poyo's going to have to play this game out as a solo. He played it phenomenally in that last one, but he needs a repeat performance, which might not last too long. Sharkantini waiting in the waters to strike, but he escapes with certainty. But how much distance can he create himself from one of the most dangerous teams in the lobby?
This might be one of the worst case scenarios though for Poyo, but his saving grace here is that Sharkantini.
Hopefully I get mail for what?
Clearly just way
Hopefully I get mail for what, Sesquin.
do something back. Pico Malabuka though, this could be a great opportunity for them to strike first as Victor B left by his lonesome 349 below. He might just be delaying the inevitable here if he doesn't find a pop-up in an instant.
Victor B looking to try and be our next young star to make a pop at this stage. He'll have to wait till game 3 though. Too much pressure from the lobby. And Jude, we picked him up earlier this game, but can he back it up with just 9 builds remaining and a very, very steep surge situation?
One of the problems that Ju and Badil encountered along with other teams that are struggling with Surge is that these rotates, you're so much more exposed. There's not much to hide behind from the territory just surrounding Sandy Strip. And with that in mind, teams, they're forced to expend almost all of their materials. They're trying to make these tunnels to find those clear paths, but everyone is just on the lookout, constantly trying to find an opportunity here. And Ju making the approach now, it could be cold next.
Chance is going to go down, pull the rapid, immediately steamroll that one elimination. They backtrack, trying to get seconds, but it's Tyler who actually steals that one away. You can see the entire lobby coming online here. Even high ground, you got Belusi, you got Zangi, Javi, Aminish trying to make a claim for it. Even Agers and Ritual, they saw what went down in game one, and they want to be a part of the mix.
But this is a sight right now. We're seeing Scroll and Sky paired together. And now, 426 above, the world is their oyster. They're ready to make a move. They've got the mobility off the overdrive grenade. What's next?
Trying to move forward, using the gauntlets to try to move past, but you see Chino, Pablo, they go down. Belusi and Zangi, they go ahead and exclusively be one of the only teams up above. It's Vico and Malapuka take down Karama, and this is one of the most dangerous parts of the game if you're not ready. But high ground has to be careful. Agers and Ritual, they're towards the backside of zone. They could pop off at any moment with just one shockwave.
Zangi and Belusi, they have a tough task on their hand holding on to this one. They have to be eagle-eyed as Vico and Malabuka look to potentially make a play in the back. They will just move towards the front side, maybe just waiting for that next zone, that next opportunity. They certainly have the resources to deal with it, and the chop will come out.
But all the while, on the lower tier, Shark and Teeny are starting to really find some momentum here. Vico, Malabuka from secondary height, making sure to continue tarping directly below where Belusi and Zangi are at. But they're on the move here and now, straight up toward that front side of zone.
They have so many materials, but it's Alex and Reckless that actually look up and try to contest the high ground. They at least get the knock onto Zangi. Belusi has to give it up with only a few materials left, and being a solo, it's his only hope to try to get more points.
Oceana came to play today. Alex and Reckless are just causing so much noise here up top.
I want him.
Good to go. Ritual and
I want
Agers
him.
now with a surprise
Yeah,
call here on height.
Jacob called them out. They were waiting,
I want him to win.
waiting for that opportunity. And
The
as soon as
girl
they sensed the
skin.
weakness, they went up and took it. But now it's about delivering and closing this game out.
Yeah,
As there are
anybody I
still
know.
so many duels left in this one, trying to
Any
find a win.
YouTubers I know.
Trying to move forward, reunite with focus, which is a necessity because he has 0 builds left. Even with 7 eliminations, they're falling short in terms of materials in the end game, and eventually they're going to be closer and closer to Sky and Scroll. But if Shark goes down, Sky and Scroll will not be denied.
And they're just taking
Come on.
everything from everyone, but Scroll yet again left as a solo. Beating
Oh,
Ritual,
you're
has made his presence known.
oh,
Forced
you're
to drop,
done.
he has the build. He's ready to make a
Done.
move.
Ritual Agers, though, they denied any team from coming up once. They're going to try to look to do it again. 5 eliminations from Agers.
No.
6
Done.
eliminations for Agers by himself. But down below, you have to be careful. Vico and Malabuka, they are the ones that are running the low.
They're so content.
With them
They're
big
chilling
ol'.
with their pizza. Everyone else is having to duke it out.
Big ol'
These
yeah.
two
Aye,
are
big
ready
eyes.
to try and bring down
Big eyes
Ritual
got
and
5
Agers.
kills.
Vico loses Malabuka, though. They might have 7 eliminations, but can Vico get some more?
Yeah, with Malabuka going down, that leaves Agers and Ritual, the only
Ma-
duo left in this game. But you have to
big
watch
eyes
out.
then.
Scroll, dangerous. Vico, we know he can clutch up, but up above, they're pressuring both of the solo players, forcing Sky and Scroll together. Agers drops down. He gets the elimination. 2v1 situation. Agers and Ritual seal the deal by taking down
Still the
Vico.
one.
All they needed was just to get the ball rolling. They make it out of Latte landing, and they immediately convert it into a victory royale here in Game 2. They've got to be feeling so good about it.
Your layer is never too safe. If Ritual and Agers are in that end game, Frankie, what do they have to say about that one?
Guys, that end game was sheer perfection. What do you think was the reason you were able to get to such a great end game?
I just think we're the best duo, and we were triple con the first game and the second one. So it's the first game we got to play.
So now you know how to get off spawn. Ritual, it was interesting seeing you manage to take height cleanly. When we spoke the other day, you said you were more comfortable mid to low ground. Why did height feel right today?
Sometimes you got to get outside your comfort zone, and I think that's what we did, and it was the easiest game ever.
So the comfort zone is now height?
It's everything now.
I'm living done.
Now. So, you had a problem game 1, triple contested, game 2, flawless. What's game 3 gonna look like now you have a target on your back?
We know what to do now. We weren't expecting the triple con because we were practicing against Rate the whole time, so we're ready.
All right then. Düsseldorf, please give it up for Ages of Ritual. We'll take a short break when we come back. Game 3.
When is it back? In 2 minutes. I want to see the time, so 2 minutes I have. Have a wee break. I think it's day 3 in the morning.
Fortnite fam, welcome back to the FNCS Summit. Putting my NA favoritism mask on for just a moment. What's up? NA on top of game number 2, that's right. Okay, took it off there. Unbiased Zeke back.
I come back.
Crazy stuff. Wait for one back on. Ages and yes! Ages and Ritual, get up here. Okay, back off. Anyway, sorry about that. Sorry you had to see that. Congratulations to the duo showing up when it matters, right? Finding that momentum, finding what was crazy.
That was kinda cool.
High ground of all things, and I love hearing from Richie himself, like, hey, it is now. High ground is right now.
Zeke, I don't need a mask. I feel like the slightest increase in how big my smile is after an NA team wins a game should be telling enough. I mean, incredible game from the boys here, and we were kind of watching this one fizzle out, and it's like, you know, we kind of tuned into them on the high ground, they were chilling. Majors, man, ends the game. What was it, 8 eliminations? Ritual over there with 0 as well. Obviously, we know Ritual is good at making those IGL calls, what he's known for. Yeah. But Ager's having a performance like this, man, incredible to see.
Really, really nice to see these guys clutching up, claiming that high ground as well. The way they took height was absolutely perfect. Took it at the right time as well. Something we've sort of spoken about throughout this weekend is the time that you take height is super important. If you take it too early, like we saw with teams like Alex and Reckless, took it a little bit too early, had it taken off with them. But there's a point in these end games where if you have it at the right time, you can ride it out to the end. And especially if you're a team as good as those guys, they are capable of doing it. Triple contested off spawn as well. Like I mentioned in that interview, Nalu and Rainy was the sort of surprise con from the East. Really, really great job from those guys.
Yeah, that's not what you would want to hear, right, on LAN. Yeah. Oh, we're triple contested. Apparently, Aegis Ritual, they do not care. We have a listen-in from that last game. Let's check it out.
Good.
I got blasted.
Coming over.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm med bombing.
Yeah, watch this back.
Scoop blast.
Holding it, but
be awareness for me. I'm grabbing slices.
I'm just holding walls.
Give me some hearts.
Yeah, delete those. I'm 5-0-1.
I'm good mats. I'm good mats.
Yeah,
holding. You hold.
You need mats
Got it.
before he goes in, I think.
Can't get it.
Second.
Well, he's going to be screwed.
Right.
Jumping in, it's Ryan. It's Ryan second height.
Yeah, it's right. Break.
Zone. Med bomb. Look at it.
Yeah, I'm staring.
He's got up. I'm in. Dead.
I'm screwed.
Come on.
That's what I like to see. What's really interesting too is, of course, they had the high ground, but then in that like kind of pivotal moment, they're like, let's just drop low ground. They're expecting us up there. Let's just take the fight to them, catch them off guard, blindside them, ends in a victory royale.
Yeah, incredible stuff there. Love to kind of tune into the listen-ins because something that we can't really pick up when we're just watching them heads up is like, what are all the things that these teams are aware of?
The number one in
They could, overdrive up
12 eliminations.
With that game right there, after a rough game, number one,
Find
Rituals find themselves flying up the leaderboard. 30 spots to join the top 5. We needed an NA team up there. But yeah, they're going to be 4th place after that one, 105 points.
Yeah, really, really great performances, guys. I'm looking at first place right now. The new first place on the leaderboard. Teeny and Sean. We got to bring it back to EU, all right? That's what I'm here.
That's right.
These guys started the game really interestingly. They actually lurked on Dharma Dimash, our ex-first place team, and took them out of spawn. Really bold play at the beginning of this tournament. They've only just had one game prior to that, so it's like we are playing for the win already. We are trying to take this by force, and that is what they then continue to do for the rest of this end game. Exciting stuff.
We're only 2 games in, but it starts to feel scary when Mini Miner kind of makes the point, hey, listen, Sharkatini game number 1, you guys got to make the most out of that. They did. It comes over to Wonky Land. They have a great game. This was nowhere near Wonky Land, man, right? They had to rotate across the map, but they still did very, very well. And that's when it starts to get scary for me, when I start to take a look at how good some of these teams just are at playing Fortnite, and not to mention this change in strategy as well, like you mentioned, early in the game. So they look prepared.
I wasn't prepared to see this many teams up in that leaderboard as dominant as EU. We got our one up there, right? But so many high-profile duos as well. Vico and Malabuka themselves. We saw Aegis Ritual climb to 30, but Vico and Malabuka climbing 11 spots. Remember, we kind of talked about their first game, maybe a little bit slower. They said, second game, let's kick it into high gear.
Yeah, there's a few really nice things they did in this end game. They were shaping up to take height at one point in that game. They were looking for it later on in this end game, and they were thinking, right, do we go for it, do we not? And there was a moment where they decided, okay, let's not. Let's play out our materials. Malabuka, Vico picking up a lot of those refreshes, and it was around this sort of moment where they thought, yeah, let's just play out the mid ground, play out the low ground layers as well, and it was right here. Vico decided, yeah, let's just try and play out as much as I possibly can, going back into the storm. And then, of course, when Aegis and Ritual came down, they took...
I won main icons, so he
managed to clutch up that second place. And something that I just noticed about Vico, right? A lot of players, when they're walking off for that break, we actually walk by them when we get to the desk. They're very chill, very, very calm. Vico's a lot of fans, of course, chanting his name. He was fired up. He was feeling good, and I hope he carries that into the next game.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm actually getting word the next game is ready. So, casters, let's kick it back over to you.
Already 2 games down, 6 more to go. This is looking a little bit more like a marathon instead of a straight foot race.
You would think so, but with the way that Shark and Teeny are playing, they're looking to eliminate anybody that's coming close. Darm Deemish targeted intentionally. They were in that first place position, but an early departure now means Shark and Teeny might look to take over here in Game 3.
Game 3.
We're still in the beginning stretch of the entire tournament. And where you are now on the leaderboard isn't too impactful. There's 6 more games left to pick up those points, eliminations, victory royales, and close the gap. We're looking at who is the best in the world as of now and top 15 for the global championship.
And we're already seeing one more of these hotly contested off-spawn battles. And it's up to Hero now to try and make sure some of the mistakes of previous games are not repeated. Epic, Will, and Pump did not come to muck about at all. They are ready to win this fight.
Focusing here
Shoot
down
him.
low. It's a little bit of a mismatch, but they're going to still take the fight.
He should heal.
Drops him down to just a little bit of HP. Pump finishes
Because
that
he's only got
elimination, and they go
pistol.
back to back. They each
Something.
get their own, and they hold their ground yet again off spawn.
Thought we were watching a zero builds competition for a moment there. No one had any materials to work with. They were both just so quick to the jump. They
He's
knew
only
that they
got
had
pistol.
to try and find those eliminations as fast as possible.
All right, next on our off-spawn tally, Tinker and Resigns versus Chap and Flixie. They don't want that smoke this time around. They want to get the chance to actually play their game. And this might have been the best possible decision they could have made. Big early damage done onto Chap and Flixie, and they have no answers. They landed way further towards the east.
But it would have felt so much better if they'd actually been able to connect and find at least one knock. That gives you the opportunity to actually push and pressure, because now you're dealing with 2 duos that don't have a lot to work with, and Leo and Romero
I
are
will
still
not
around.
win the,
Let's see what that OC duo
I win the
can do
trophy.
in this game. For Reed and Cooper, they started last game with a fight up against the Asian duo of Nalu and Rainy. This time around, Ritual has gone down after winning that previous game. And so things here at Latte still haven't been figured out as far as what the dynamic of the day is going to be. It is still a messy situation, Taco.
For Reed and Cooper, it's just anything you can do, I can do better. They have a point to prove up against the likes of Rituals and Agers. And I know you guys might have seen things getting a little heated on socials, but here in the lobby is the best chance to come out on top.
Every single time Noah, Riley, and Razan just kind of pop up on the screen, I just hear the arena erupt. I've never seen so much energy outside of last year's Global Championship, really kind of giving it their all to their favorite teams. It's something that you love to see. And for Noah and Razan, they're just doing a good job here, not necessarily putting it all into just one contested fight. They're saying, hey, we might not get the best loot off spawn, but this is something we can gather as the game goes on.
And already in game 3, major off-spawn switch-ups, Rainy and Nalu, the Asian team who had
They
their
need to win.
struggles landing in the northeast of the map, trying
need
to
to
take
win.
fights in Latte that just weren't working,
Very
have now
badly.
decided to land at Riptides, and I'm not sure if Focus and Thomas are quite aware of just exactly where they are.
But at the same time, they didn't exactly have anything great to work with. They have to be so precise with when they pounce if they want to.
No, maybe streaming this later, but I'll be watching something. But I'll still be streaming it. But I won't be talking. But I'll be watching something.
This is a tight situation
If it
because
lets
they're
me
fighting
stream
either
and
Teen, or at least one of the two over from Wonky Land, disrupting this fight, third party causing a little bit of a distraction, landing some of those shots on a sky jump and Momsy. And if they didn't get tagged up, that would have been a huge green light to go.
And I understand the aggression from Skyjump and Mumsy. They really struggled with Surge in that last game, but you have to pick your fights wisely. You don't want to put yourself in an even worse situation as the games continue.
And traditionally, Skyjump and Momsy have been the team that just actually gets a third-party profit whenever they're challenging others on the map, but those opportunities just not presenting themselves here today. Other teams kind of fluctuating with their rotational paths, and another one that's been impacted from the start because of that early split. Tinka resigns. Chap, Flixie, they still have to figure out who's going to actually come out from this position.
Yeah, and because they split that drop, you kind of saw it in a moment. One of them is out of medium ammo. That's going to be Flixie. He's no longer going to be able to put pressure from up above. He does have the Chaos Reloader shotgun, so he can fight back, but that go ahead and controls
They need
or at least changes
to
a little bit of what they're
hopefully
able
go
to do
that
here. They
close.
can no longer continue to fight safely, so they have to disengage and find a little bit of more resource.
King and Tails surprised the world yesterday with their qualification into this final with a big win. Started off the day ruining the party for the NA Central champions, Venno and Curve. And now looking to make waves here again in game 3. Oh dear. What do we have here? Vidil and Jude. Jude taking Reason out. Friendly fire going on.
It's like in those moments you can just tell the crowd's not really sure whether to be happy or sad. But ultimately, only one can survive at the end of it all. And for Vidil and Jude, they've managed to come out on top. But will it be short-lived? Because Kanata, Victor V, creeping around the corner, checking to see whether or not they can get into a better position to find the opening tags.
And for a team from NA West, where they typically stayed at Sandy Strip, in order to get a lot of their Storm Surge on that region, they were uncontested. So a huge difference maker coming into the weekend, having 2 other teams land there. Games 1, games 2 didn't go their way, and now they're forced to flip the script, trying to get alert play. They probably heard the noise in the distance, and they're trying to go.
Not only that, but Kanata and Victor V, they are so exposed. If any other teams just happen to get a little bit of leverage, a little bit of height, they'd have the chance to see that these two are out in the open right now because they don't want to make any sound. They can't really afford to toss out a build. They want to ensure that Ju and Vidil are completely caught off guard.
Vidil and Ju, though, from the way they're playing, seems like there's some sort of inkling something is being cooked up here. And I hope they persistently stay on top of it, and they will. The jig is up. Kanata and Victor V will look to dip as they realize there is no free opportunities here.
Venno, game 1. Didn't necessarily expect to get lurked on the south side of Battlewood Boulevard. Ever since then, I feel like they've been put on notice, Taco.
A lot of their tactics have definitely revolved around their fighting potential. Both of these players are able to deliver some big blows and some big clutches, but at the same time, you can't factor out the competition scaling up with every single match that goes by because everyone's looking for the perfect adaptation.
Lurk after lurk here. Thomas HB and Focus trying to do the same things. LB works and bot ones up above on the mountain with the bush. Just hiding their exact location. So Thomas and Focus, they're going to have to take what little information they currently have here and try to figure out how they're going to run away with it in this play. Kind of moving from the bottom up. There's a huge height advantage. Natural terrain so they can see it. But they might have spotted out bot, just kind of trying off to the side. This could be a chance for them to try to take a 2v1.
Yeah, they've got to know that there's a solo in the bush now. But he's also aware of the potential someone to come. If they can find the right timing, this will be a great 2v1 opportunity. They might also just patiently wait for bot to return. No, they'll jump into the bush. They want that damage. They want that fight. They saw bot leave the hill and decided it was their time to strike.
Yeah, at least bot came back, trying to draw back a little bit of that pressure. They did land some damage, though, so that's the confidence building for Thomas and Focus. Good shots connecting yet again, but the distracting third party bringing everything to a halt in this moment. Thomas, Focus, they immediately box up on top, realizing we're in the zone. You still got to come to us. And now they have a moment here where there's a little bit of an advantage here in terms of positioning.
Their prey just barely managed to escape. Thomas was trying to find that full box in, but it just didn't net itself in his favor. And now, because of the shots ringing through from Battlewood Boulevard, it's just going to be another delay, another slow down. And they've had a rather solid start when they've made it out of Rip Times, but it's evident that they are on the hunt for some very aggressive plays.
This was my fear. With New Sanctuary, if Resigns and Chat couldn't figure things out between themselves, would things start to get messy deep into the storm? And that is what we're seeing take place here. They can't close it out. He's able to escape, but he will continue to hunt.
Yeah, and it puts you just in a tough situation. Whether you win these fights or lose these fights, they're so drawn out. You're trading damage. Even if you get the eliminations, Taco, you're not necessarily going to be above that damage threshold. And with the zone pulling far away, it's going to be hard to get it back.
They've just spent so much time fighting and dealing with each other that they've left both of themselves in just worse positions, because even for Resigns, even if he makes it for the reboot opportunity, Cap Flixie, they're also still left in a world of hurt because so many other teams are going to look to try and hold them captive inside the storm, not giving them the proper opportunity to rotate through the edge of zone.
Last time we see Curve and Venno kind of lurked in a different situation, trying to play safe. But as we tune in now, empty item slot, but they're going okay. On the other side, though, may not be necessarily the same. Malibuka dropped down to just a sliver of HP. Biko, though, able to save the day, pick up that knock, get the elimination, and is now giving Malibuka valuable time to heal up before they have to make their turn into zone.
Hey, go Biko, go after all, and this is exactly what the young superstar needs to be doing. Malibuka on the ropes, and just like that, Biko able to turn it around.
I mean, if these guys are going to come out fighting and Malibuka is going to come out swinging, it takes the pressure off for Vico to deliver. But when he has to, he'll hit shots just like that. Darman Dimash, a second chance in this lobby. They started the day on top. Their second place competition took them out in game number 2. And here in game number 3, they'll look to recapture that first place position.
Just pulling it back to where things actually ended up here for Chap and Flixie, and Tyler just caught lacking, had no idea that there's still a team sitting around New Sanctuary.
Yeah, Chase is already down, though. Minus going to be able to certainly clean up that elimination. Siphon can allow him to survive just a little bit longer inside of the zone before he has to pop any HP. And I like what Javi's doing here. Instead of fighting a 1v1, giving him a chance to possibly win, he just converges back onto a Minish. They get into the same box and realize, hey, there's a huge strength in numbers. We're up on the Storm Surge. We didn't take much damage. Let's just take this moment as a win.
Practically 5-5-5-2 on their next entrance for that rotate. So we'll see what happens next. But Peterbot Boyo, quiet start. A different strategy. It's very foreign to see these two not with a whole slew of eliminations already built up in their counter, but they have clearly devised a plan and a strategy that revolves very heavily around playing inside of the Storm.
Zone pulls far, and they're waiting. You can see Pete is in the base waiting for players to rotate past, but unfortunately for Pete, those players aren't going to come in, so there is a good chance we see another game where these guys are down and out of luck when it comes to Surge, desperate to try and jump into somebody's box. Kanada and Victor V, we saw their desperation earlier when they were trying to make plays happen. Now the situation has worsened. They have to make something happen right now.
This is the only decision they can make, but it's going to be one they're going to regret. Kanada goes down. Matt and Cole were able to get that elimination, and these guys have been the unsung heroes. They qualify out of NA. They make some big plays. They make it from the upper bracket, and now they're shining here in Game 3. First elimination, sometimes that's going to be the hardest, but Victor V finds him so down in the depths when it comes to damage. Almost 400 overall. That's almost 2 full eliminations worth of damage, and that's where it gets tough, because even if you're able to take down Cole, you're at a disadvantage. 2v1, and this one's going to be tough.
Victor V can't even afford to stall. The Surge is just going to start ticking away at his HP, and for Matt and Cole, they've already gotten exactly what they were after. Sure, Vic's able to pick up the splashes, but what else could he do with it?
They need to be careful on Victor V's side and on the other side with POL and Poyo lurking in the zone behind them. Veno and Curve, what do they have for Resign and Tinker? A great little lurk play. We've seen Veno do that many times over the years, and he did that as well in the NA finals, and Tinker and Resigns clearly weren't prepared for it.
We've seen how things fared for one half of that stalled out engagement over by New Sanctuary. Flixie Chap trying to see if they can change their fate, though. Opening starts. Seems like it begins with Liam.
Yeah, 35 below the damage threshold. Looked like Liam was going for the reboot. He gets denied. But you notice they went from barely below the damage threshold, getting that elimination, to barely above. So for Chap and Flixie, when it comes to Storm Surge, they're not safe just yet. Even Agers now winning that game, going and kind of trying to ride that momentum. It gets cut short, 151, and it's active Surge.
Just ever since the start, when you're not able to fully survive that off-spawn contention, you're going to be left trying to play for the leftovers. And for Agers and Ritual, it's very obvious that this zone pool has not done them any favors either. They've had to go cross-country, but Agers looking to get fraggy with it. Won't get the shots to connect, though. Cringe and Twa instead come out on top.
It was always going to be a difficult game with how things started off for them, even after that impressive win they got. But this duo is not out of it just yet. We will be hearing more from them over the course of this day. But for now, they'll leave it to the rest of the lobby to cook up for us. For Deal and Drew looking to do just that. Drew already starting the game with one of them onto Reason, and they will look to quickly improve on their standings. Just 30 points so far, but plenty more to grab in this one.
Yeah, almost 400 above the damage threshold, so they are looking good. No necessity to beat. Curve and Benno, same thing. 5 E-limps, 900 plus damage. Gets cut short a little bit as they kind of break through the builds, but you see in Benno and Curve, persistence here. They see a pile of loot, but instead of just running in, getting greedy, they're playing very, very calculated.
This might be where they fare best, though. They want to be in the thick of it because that's where they'll get the best opportunities to shine. Catching players off guard, trying to work their way through those lower layers undetected by the teams that are already boxed up a little bit higher up on height. And speaking of which, Sharktini already trying to get that little bit of leverage because they need to find a solution to being underneath the search threshold.
You know how this one goes. 130, 153. Storm Surge begins to activate. Every 7 seconds, Teeny and Shark will be stricken with 25 damage shield or HP, and it does not turn off until there's 40 or less people in the game. Right now, their strategy looks to be to out-heal it, but now Shark is out of heals. Now he's put on a timer that will not last forever.
But look who's avoided almost everything along the way. Acorn and Bolts. Teeny has fallen, though. No opportunities to bring this one back. His body being carried away there by Drew and Badil. Shark looking to see if he could try to scramble, pick up the pieces, but as a solo with no HP, what more can he really do?
He doesn't look like he has the answers to that question, Taco. With just 1 HP remaining, Shark and Teeny will leave their first place spot up for grabs.
So many of our Titans go down early. You're kind of seeing how Teeny was able to go down, but Deal and Drew just caught him lacking, edit the wall, and get that elimination. Even during all that chaos, we saw Cold and Rapid went down as well. Venno's gonna get knocked. Curve trying to be a hero. One knock's already there, trying to get the second onto Sky, but he gets denied that opportunity. Rightfully so. He goes right back into the box, trying to get the revive onto Venno with his own pushing him in. He can't be the hero he needs, but there's still a knock right in front. Curve trying to save the Siphon for the last moment.
Curve needs it to kick in now or never, but he can't afford to see if he can find another shot. Eventually, though, he might be saved just in the nick of time, but when you've got 2 Titans of the lobby, 2 major champions going head-to-head, now's the time to see who's really on top.
And Curve might not have been able to save his teammate, but Sky certainly could. Stroll back in the game and back with a chance to make things happen. Curve with just 17 HP needs to tiptoe his way around, and he will be caught out. And so it's up to him now to get things done. On the front side of the zone, Shadow and Virgo positioning. Pixie looking to do the same. Malabuka, Vico. We've seen how strong they've been so far today. Will this be their opportunity to take first place?
They're trying to get that whole side of the zone, but they get cut short, cut off, kind of tagged up all at the same time. Vico's going to go down. A lot of pressure has just been put on Malabuka's shoulders. 132 points. They're so close to the top of the leaderboard, they can taste it as he tries to steal another one away. But that one's going to go to Momsy. The flank comes in. He doesn't hear it. Swizzy and Pixie take him down.
Swizzy and Pixie are primed and ready. They are just looking back, spraying down every single one of these teams. All of the players that are just a little bit too late to the punch. And now Pixie, Swizzy, with the damage having been done, they're ready to see whether or not they can make their move towards frontside.
If these guys can rise to the occasion today, it would be exactly the type of story you expect out of Swizzy and Pixie Peterbot. Playing the Storm now as all this madness ensues. Drew and Vidil, they are looking to take this game for their own. They don't care who's in this lobby. They want the high ground and they will keep it for now. But that is just for now. They have to continue to hold it and apply the pressure below.
They're feeling like they're on cloud 9 right now. The entire arena cheering them on, but they draw their attention to Shadow and Virgo, that second height team. Anybody in that position can use a shockwave and disrupt everything they have going on.
You can tell though from the way they're playing it, they don't have the materials, and so the chop will come through. It's Cammy, it's Hari. We We've seen them do that so many times before, and so it'll be up to Badil now to clutch up.
But this is a spot that Badil's been in so many times already, and now here today, Badil trying to see if he can strike through, but his shield is so low, he's fully cracked. The movement is crazy, but he's left tumbling down the hill, trying to see if he can get out of sight. Pablo is falling, kindling right next to him, but Badil, he's not gonna be able to get the shots. He wants to try and make it through, but all of these pre-existing builds just forcing him to make the effort. Still, Badil moving forward. What? But he doesn't see it, and Badil brings him down.
How does he keep finding a way? He keeps on doing it. Badil, this is ridiculous. What a game from him. Scroll will finally put an end to it, but Kami and Hari, after chopping height, will look to finally make a play for it for themselves. Shadow and Virgo hold on, but not for long. They get wiped clean, and Scroll down below has a tough Polish duo up, trying to take this game.
In fact, they're the only duo actually up in this game. Scroll, solo, Pixie, solo. Scroll's being the focus right now from up above, trying to expand, but he's running out of material, and he's running out of material fast. Hari, Cammy, they realize he's building out a Wook. That's a sign of weakness, and they want to take over. They can't let this opportunity slip from their fingers from one team to the next. Pixie gains their attention. Scroll goes up!
But Scroll finds nothing. He realizes Cammy's in a metal box, and then there's Pixie all alone on the ground. Scroll with the siphon just in the nick of time. But Scroll, he's still got to keep going forward. Hari never gets a chance to see it coming, but it doesn't matter because Cammy had his back.
They are one of the most dangerous teams coming into this event. Contested, uncontested, that is not a problem from them. When it comes to big moments, when it comes to big events, Cammy is one for certain that shows up when it matters most.
Cammy, Hari, stand up. Düsseldorf, please give it up for Cammy and Hari. What an intense final moment, but you were in it together. How were the communications as you tried to take Solo Scroll down?
I mean, it was the perfect game. We just chopped height like 3 times, killed like 4 people because of that, and it was an easy game.
That's what everyone is saying so far, but everyone online has been looking at the lobby list and saying this might be the most stacked FNCS LAN ever. Do you agree, Hari?
Yeah, it's so stacked.
So when you look at the lobby list, who do you think is your biggest competition right now?
Darm and Dimash.
Darm and Dimash, and is that because you're sat right next to them and they're also your friends from Poland?
Yeah.
And so if it could be you or them, I'm guessing it's got to be you who wins this now.
Of course.
So, Cammy, you know what it's like to be under pressure. You know what it's like to be on day 2 and in contention for the top. But do you have to change things up so you don't get snaked out there?
I mean, we're conned, so like we just need to focus on that. Need to focus on winning off spawns and try to get some more good games.
Well, we're going to take a short break while these guys focus up. Please, Düsseldorf, give it up for Cammy and Hari!
fam, welcome back to the Summit once again. We get another victory royale out of Game 3, and if I could put my EU bias mask on for one, say, yeah, my boy, EU at the top. That's right, Tokata. Oh, Tokata.
I heard you repping NA, what, 1 match ago? Literally last match? You think you can just switch up that quickly, Z?
Yes, I can. Oh, sorry, I left the EU bias mask on there for a second. Listen, I'm going to be biased on whoever wins. I just want everybody to have a great time. Shout-outs to Cammy and Shari, rather. What an incredible game. Packed with eliminations, packed with high ground, packed with pushing other duos who are trying to take high from them out of the way.
Classic Cammy high take right here. Looking back, chopping it on out, sneaking in the backside of this zone as well. All of that LAN experience that Cammy has paying dividends for him right now. The scroll high take was almost crazy, but they held him off to Carter. And what they did really well here was they took height at, again, the right time at the right way.
I love seeing this from Cammy and Hari, now bumped up that leaderboard. But if I think to specifically how this duo plays, you can go back to the 2022 Invitational where Cammy and Seti ended up winning. Issue is they weren't known for playing very well mechanically, for getting those eliminations, but now Cammy paired up with Hari. I'm seeing much more confidence. I'm seeing them pushing. I'm seeing them play for height, get those eliminations, and you know, it's working incredibly well.
I don't know if you saw what I saw. Sky and Scroll have suddenly broken into the 200-point threshold. Oh, wow. Finding that second place against, obviously, a solo situation against Cammy and Shari, rather. Wow. This team continues to do it. I don't know how they do it, but Scroll, if we're going to put Scroll in solo clutch situations, I'm down. I'm down.
Look, I'm down to put either of them in solo clutch situations. Scroll, game 1, got 52 points as a solo, once again clutching it out. But the best part is, Sky is just as capable at solo clutching. In the EU Major Finals, he had the 3rd most solo clutch points. They can play together as a duo. They can play as solos. They were the most consistent team on EU going into those finals. Sky and Scroll have everything to take home this competition.
What a shot that was, though. Unreal. There was a moment just before that as well where Sky was down and Scroll waited. He almost used Sky's down body as bait. For the player that was coming up to take them out and continue that through. So that combination of not only mechanical ability, not only calmness in those endgame situations, but just the brain, the thoughts, thinking, how can I make the most out of this endgame in our current situation? There's a reason why these guys are favorites going into this weekend, and it's looking very, very good for the Sky and Scroll lovers out there.
What's crazy, too, using the body as bait, that was actually against the deal, right?
The deal
running through as a solo. We could hear the crowd going crazy. Even the deal coming in and finding these eliminations, against like Sky and Scroll is crazy.
Yeah, and it's what Vidil's been doing all season long. He's had this sort of like solo clutching prowess, this sort of second wind, if you like, when it comes to solo clutching, because seemingly in every single tournament that he's playing in, he's having these amazing solo clutches. And on a stage like this, in this sort of format, getting those extra few placement points, getting those extra eliminations to Carter is going to be super valuable.
Remember, the deal back in 2024 was the best performing German duo alongside Lisa, now paired up with Jew. They have been looking incredibly strong on home turf. I'm excited to see if they can continue that momentum forward in the later matches today. Teeny Shark, 2nd place, but Chino and Pablo Wingo up 4 places. Mini Minor, this 2nd place. I mean, honestly, Sky and Scroll aren't that far away, but they are trying to make a statement, right? They're like, hey, you're doing good. We're going to stay very close by, though.
Yeah, it's where Chino Pablo operate. This is exactly where you want to have them. These endgame situations, hit to hit. If you looked at the drop map going into today, you'd almost write them off. That sort of triple contestation and script. But when they make this endgame situation, when they're in these low to mid ground layers, they are just almost so in sync together. They're playing off each other so well. And this is something that we spoke about to them in an interview. They were sort of saying, yeah,